jump right into it.
Ridiculous. I'm sorry. I see. Well,
What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm here with the part 5 of how to weld stainless steel exhaust pipe series. If you haven't seen the previous videos, go check out my playlist on my channel titled How to Weld. You can see the previous 4 videos, get all caught up, and see what we got going on in this one. This one's going to be exciting. We're actually striking up an arc finally, and we're going to have some fun. Show you guys how to lay down some really nice beads. Alright, guys, so we're here. We're purged. If you didn't see that, go check the last video. Make sure you're purging correctly, getting all the oxygen out so that you get a nice clean inside of your weld. And from here, we're going to be starting our first bead, going all the way around, adding filler, being careful about our heat input, being careful to keep our beads straight, consistent width, and consistently dabbing and moving the same distance for each dab. I'm not going to start it here, I'm just going to show you guys. You want to start on a tack, and you want to strike your arc and let that bead, let that puddle get up to the correct width. Once it's as wide as you want it to be and you think you're penetrated, I like the bead to be about, twice as wide as my filler rod or my tungsten. And then you want to just move forward to the front edge of your last puddle. So you take your tungsten from here and you see the front edge of your last puddle, where the front edge of that puddle formed, and you move your tungsten to there, and then you dab. And then you move your tungsten to the front edge of that puddle, and you dab. And you continue that until I like to do about 10 to 12 dabs per bead. So you do that about 10 to 12 times. And then you let off, you let your gas flow, and then you take it off. You can check it. I like to, every bead I do, I look at it, I check it, I see if there's anything I'm doing wrong, and you can correct that on your next bead, or try to correct that on your next bead. So I'm gonna strike up here. We've been purging. We're ready to go. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. All right. So you see there, got a pretty good bead. You just want to make sure that you're going slow. I'm set at 62 amps. Like I mentioned in the previous video, you can start at 50 or 55 so that you can slow down and really focus on what you're doing. Make sure you're getting good consistency. And another thing, guys, is you got to be comfortable. You got to have something to rest both of your hands on. I got my one hand here, I got the other one rested here, and you just got to take your time, be precise, and watch that puddle. Pay attention to the puddle. Don't look at your arc. Don't watch your filler rod. just pay attention to the puddle and what that's doing. Watch it as it gets wider as you move forward. Make sure you're going as far forward as you did on the last one, and you'll get a real nice consistent result. So I'll start going around, do a couple more beads, and see if there's anything I can think of to tell you guys. All right, guys. When you start up and run another bead after you ran your first one, and after you run every bead, and you go to the next one, I usually start a little further back than where I ended the bead. So maybe you go, you can see that little dot or the center of that bead, that last puddle. You put your tungsten there and just move it back one more bead. So start like or one more puddle. So start like two puddles, two dabs back from where you finished your last bead, and then continue on. It's just so that in case you don't get perfect penetration on that first dab, you're tying in nicely to the bead before it, so there will be consistent penetration. And then when you end a puddle, when you end a bead on that last puddle, you want to let off very slowly, and even you can travel forward a little bit so that you don't get a little fisheye in that last puddle where a crack could start, or you might not have a totally airtight weld right there. Another thing is you want to make sure that you keep your filler rod, the end of your filler rod, under your cup, under the gas at all times. Because just like the stainless steel, if it's not shielded, it will corrode. Pay attention here to how I hope you guys can see. I start back. Now, let me move this camera a little closer. All right. You guys should be able to see a little bit better now. If you ever pull your filler out and get some shit on the end, chop that right off so you got a nice clean end. You want to let your puddle get the same size as the bead before it. And let off of that real slow so you don't get a fisheye, which just looks like a little divot. And there you go. So you just keep going around, being as consistent as possible. And let your gas flow until it cuts off. so that you get that nice shielding. Don't be afraid to reposition yourself or your piece so that you're doing as best you can. Hope you guys can see good. Just hold very still. Another thing, guys, when you lift your hood up, that quick movement can blow a little gust of air and blow your gas coverage off. So ideally, keep your hood down until that is done flowing. Or if you have to, or you like to, flip that up slowly. And then also, be careful you don't blow your breath. And this cold air is really helping me to show you what I mean. Be careful you don't breathe on it and blow your gas coverage off either, because that will make you very unhappy to have some gray welds. Now, guys, the mistakes I'm making right now are a perfect example. Um, this little piece, I'm not used to having such a little piece, and it's kind of moving around on me, um, which is something that would be good to take care of, because it is messing up my consistency just the tiniest bit. They're still good welds. They still look pretty good. But they could be better if I would secure this down, or find just a better way to have it sit. So it's looking pretty good, pretty consistent, all that, but could be a little bit better. if I'd secure it down and make it really ideal. I'm not gonna, just because this is not a super high priority piece. I'm just showing you guys the gist of it. But just so you know, if your piece is wiggling around, secure it down. So you want to be the only variable for things to go wrong. You don't want your gas coverage to be going wrong because of something with your machine. You don't want it to be going wrong because your material's dirty. You want to be the only variable that can mess it up, so that when something goes wrong, you know it's you. It's just like the scientific process or whatever it's called. I don't remember that stuff from school. But you want to eliminate every possible variable or account for it or adjust it to get a better result or to get the result you're looking for. So try to make yourself the only variable. So when something goes wrong, you know the first thing to look at is you. Now, where there's not ideal fit up here, because this one piece was deformed, you may see on the inside when we're done that there's not 100% penetration there because of this bad fit up. That's another reason you guys really, other than purging and ease of tacking, when it comes to welding, that that bad fit up might bite you in the ass on your penetration. Um, that just goes to show how many different things good fit up improves and helps, and how many things it can affect negatively. Notice I'm keeping my filler rod under there. Keep it shielded. You can pull it out once you see it. It's not glowing anymore, not very hot, but it's best practice just to leave it in there, you know. Alright guys, so on this last bead, we're going to come in, follow along, and we're going to come, just like when you start, we're going to finish 2 beads, two puddles in on the last bead. So we're going to kind of overlap it a little bit to make sure we get full penetration all the way along. Alright, so now that we have finished that, we can shut our purge off, let the piece cool down, and pop these purge plugs out, see what the inside looks like. There it is. Looking great. You see there's a little bit of wonkiness in it there, like that, where I had this thing moving around on me. But it still looks good. And then you can see the inside here is just gorgeous. Full penetration all the way around. That is exactly what you want out of a purge, guys. Look how consistent that is. The color and the you got the full width of the bead all the way around. That's going to be a strong, long-lasting, very clean weld. You're not going to get anything. There's nothing going to be coming off of that going into your motor or your turbo or anything like that. So that's exactly what you want. It's going to last a long time, even under very harsh conditions. You know, you could put a whole system that was like this on an off-road vehicle, and it would hold up through some very rough stress. So, guys, I hope you learned something from this. If you liked that, if you like what I'm doing on here, drop a like, subscribe, go watch the previous videos. You'll learn even more, and there's more to come still. So, catch you guys in the next videos. See ya.